This is lesson 3-5, % markup and markdown, and it starts on page 174. This is example number 1 on page 174. Marty buys plain cell phone cases and then decorates them to resell online at a higher price. What is the % markup on each phone case? So the first thing that I'm going to notice is that we have vocabulary. And so it's talking about markup is the amount of increase, because it's markup, from the cost of an item to its selling price. The markup as a % increase from the original cost is the % markup. So what happens is when a retailer buys inventory, let's say that they bought something for $5. They're not going to turn around and sell it to you for $5. They're going to sell it to you for $12.50, let's say. That difference is the markup, and the % is called the % markup. So we have Marty here, and Marty's original cell phone cases cost $7.20. Marty's not going to sell them for $7.20. Marty's going to decorate them and turn around and sell them for $11.25, which is a difference of $4.05. So we want to change that number into a %. So if you look at step number 1, we have a bar diagram. And on our bar diagram, we have the original cell phone, and the markup of $4.05 is the exact same length as the final cost. So we're looking for what % is that $4.05 of the original amount. So we can use the % equation to find that. This looks very familiar to me. They're just using different words. So the markup is the part that they are going to add to the price. This is still a %, and this is what's called a wholesale price, or what the manufacturer bought, the store bought the item for. So we know the part that it got marked up. It got marked up $4.05. We aren't sure of the %, but originally it cost $7.20 for Marty. That's called a wholesale price, or what the person paid for the item originally. Our numbers are divided by that equal sign. One is on the left and one is on the right. So in order to get rid of this multiply by $7.20, I'm going to divide by $7.20. And I wanted to do that one because that is going to disappear. That's going to bring down just the % sign. And then if I were to use a calculator, that's going to come out to be 0.5625. But I want to remind you of something. Last lesson, when they ask you to find the %, you have to do one extra step. You have to multiply by 100. So the actual answer is 56 2/2500%. If I were to ask you to round that to the nearest whole %, it would be 56%. This is the try it on the bottom of page 174. And it says, what is the % markup on a $300 phone that the store sells for $465? So our first step is to figure out how much are they adding to the price. And so if you subtracted those, you would find out they are adding $165 to the price. We just don't know what that % is. So over here, I'm not going to use their boxes, and they didn't really give me a whole lot of room, but that's okay. I will figure it out. I'm going to put the part that they marked it up right here equals the %, which we don't know yet, times the wholesale price. That's what the company bought it for. And the company bought it for $300. It looks as if my numbers are divided by the equal sign. One is on the left and one is on the right. So I'm going to divide to solve. Multiply by 300 and divide by 300 cancels. But what I do to the left, I also have to do to the right. So if I bring this down, 165 divided by 100 would give me 0.55 on the left, an equal sign in the middle, and my percent on the right. But remember, if you are going to answer the question, what is the percent? You have one extra step. So the percent is actually 55%. So let's go through those steps again. First, I subtracted, and that lived right here. Then I found the original price, and it lived right here. Then I divided, and I multiplied by 100. This is example number 2 on page 175. And as always, if I am moving too fast for you, you should stop me, catch up, and then start me again. The local furniture store pays $110 for a chest of drawers and sells it with a 40% markup. What is the selling price? All right, so they're going to start with their bar diagram. 100% of the cost was $110. They're going to mark it up 40%, and we're not sure what it's going to sell for. So let's go ahead and use this. This is the part. We don't know how much that's going to be, but we know the percent. Make sure you use your percent key. And we know the original price or the wholesale price. Now this time both numbers are on the same side of the equal sign, so I can just multiply them. 40% times 110 is $44. But I want you to be very careful. That's the part they're going to add on. Remember, the retailer is going to make you pay the $110 he paid and an extra $44 for a selling price of $154. This is the try it right below example number 2. And we want to know what is the selling price for a $45 pair of shoes with a 15% markup. All right, so let's start filling in our chart. This is the part that we don't know. We're not sure how much they're going to add to the price. But I know it was a 15% markup. Use your percent key of $45. So if I multiply 45 times 15%, because they're on the same side of the equal sign, I will get $6.75. That's the part they are going to add to the price of the shoes. So you are going to pay what they paid and $6.75 more, for a grand total of $51.75. This is example number 3 on page 175, and we are moving into markdown and sales tax at this point. Edward wants to buy a snowboard that is on sale. If the sales tax in Edward's state is 7.5%, how much will he pay for the snowboard? All right, and on top of that, the snowboard is on sale. All right, there's some vocabulary here for us. Markdown is the decrease. Mark down. from the original price of an item to its sale price. The markdown is a percent decrease of the original price is the percent markdown. All right, first, you have to think about how it works when you go to buy something. So they scan your item, off comes the discount, and then they add the sales tax. All right, so this is a multi-step problem. So I'm going to put a little divider right here. All right, we're going to do the part. We're going to do the percent. We're going to do the whole. Okay, so I know it's 30% off of $180. So these are on the same side of the equal sign. I'm going to multiply them. 30% times 180 is $54. But that's the part you are going to save in the sale. So that means it's not 180. It's 180 minus $54 or $126. So life is good right now. It's not 180. The snowboard is 126. But now I have to figure out the tax. I'm going to use my same thing. Whoops. Let me put that in the right spot. Percent. Okay. So the tax is 7.5% of 126. Do not pay tax on 180 because your snowboard doesn't cost 180. Those are on the same side of the equal sign, so I'm just going to multiply them. The tax is going to be $9.45. Okay, we've done a lot of math, but we're not done quite yet. 126 for the snowboard and $9.45 in tax gives me a grand total of, drum roll please, $135.45. Ooh, there was a lot of steps to that one. All right, this is the try it on the bottom of page 175. If you're feeling confident, I want you to stop me, work it out, and then come back for checking. But if you still feel like you need a little bit of help, you follow along with me. Remember, you can always pause me if I'm going too fast for you. All right, we are going to find the percent markdown for an $80 jacket that is on sale for $48. This is really only a one-step problem because we're not adding tax. We're just figuring out the percent markdown. So here's my part. Here's my percent. Here's my whole amount. Well, the jacket used to cost a whole $80, but it's on sale. So I wonder how much I'm saving. I would take 80 minus 48. I think I'm saving $32. That's the part I'll save. Now, it looks like my numbers are divided by the equal sign. In order to solve this, I'm going to do the opposite of multiplying by 80, which is dividing by 80. That cancels. And my percent is whatever this is, almost. So 32 divided by 80 is 0.4, but remember, if they ask me for a percent, I have to do one extra step. And this is a 40% markdown, or it's on sale for 40% off. This is your key concept on page 176. So the one thing I really want you to understand is that markup is going to increase the price of something and markdown is going to decrease the price of something. So in markup, we are going to add things together, and in markdown, we will subtract.